Welcome. Geekshow Helpdesk.
Is it the game show yet? Can we go to the game show? I want to talk about the game show. There's game news.
Wow, Lando.
Just
that's
because you
out of
finally
place.
have game news.
Out of place. I don't
So much
even
game
know what
news.
to do with that.
This
This
show
is a Geek
sucks. Let's do
Show.
the game show.
This is a Geekshow Helpdesk where we talk
Fair
about
weather fan.
tech, gadgets, science-related things.
I'm so funny.
Game shows later. Now let's introduce our panelists. He's what? Shaft Tugs and Plugs.
Shafts, Tugs, and Plugs.
He's Jaren.
That's me. I'm Jaren. You can find me on Blue Sky at jaren.best or Jeronius. There you go.
I like that, Jaren. You got out in front of Lando this week.
He did.
Yeah.
That's
He
pretty
took the
good.
power back.
I'm
taking
going to
back
own it, and I'm proud of it.
This,
Yeah.
I
There you
felt
go.
that. That was a good. That was also a good one.
Own it? Own it? I just had to.
I do
Speaking of owning it, it's Owen.
both. Here to own all your things.
Ooh.
I'm gonna. You've been owned.
Yes.
Follow me here. That's where you're gonna get me. Sometimes on Blue Sky, if you leave me a message, I'll check it a couple months later.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And he's got a green hat on his green screen. He's Lando.
I got it. It's one of the UVU baseball hats. Like this is one of the actual team hats, baby. I'm so stoked about it. Yeah, I'm Lando.
Wait,
I'm
they
here.
have a baseball team?
Yes, of course they have a baseball team, Jaren. Why
They have a
wouldn't
lot
they?
of different teams.
Did you just like break into the merch closet and you're like, oh, leftover hats?
Whoa.
Basically, this one.
Hats,
This one's actually the old
eh?
one from last year. It's one of the old Nike ones. We're now sponsored by Adidas, not Nike, but
Mm.
we
Those
won't talk about
making-
that. They don't pay us any money.
Whoa, you guys actually get sponsors? I'm really surprised.
It's kind of like equipment deals, but yeah, same
Wow.
idea.
Okay.
We're the biggest university in the state. What do you
See,
think
if somebody
we
goes,
are?
if somebody goes
It's less
global,
prestigious, though.
if somebody, see, it's just seeding their future, right? If
Okay,
somebody goes
okay.
crazy,
I'm gonna nip
then
this in the bud
they
right
used-
now. We have a host. His name's Tony.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I want to hear what Owen says.
No. We don't have time
okay.
for that.
I don't
Let's
have
see.
time for that. I don't have time for that.
Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T or on other Geek Show podcasts. All right, let's go ahead and get on to emails. Here we go.
Okay.
Do we have any emails, Jaren?
Yeah, we do. Okay, we got an email from David Ziegler, who goes by Ziggy McLeod on Discord. He says, Dear Helpdesk, newish listener ever since you started in Geek Show main feed. I've been using eBay to sell my comic book, which is also available at Rubber Mallet Comics in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. And if you're on the Geek Show Discord, you probably see me post about it. The problem. eBay, the app, says my books are not available. You must hit the waitlist. eBay, the website, says they are available, and you can buy them now. WTF. They are the same thing, right? Why can't they agree with each other? The app doesn't have any relisted options or say it's expired or anything like that. The website acts like everything is okay, and eBay help isn't helping. Any suggestions? Thanks, David Ziegler.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
know
not
how
shocked about
eBay
the-
works.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not
I
shocked
got a
about-
suggestion.
You
Ask
do?
I'm
someone
shocked about
else.
the eBay. Yeah,
Ask someone else to look up the listing for you.
use ChatGPT.
See what it says.
Yeah, exactly.
And also,
or
eBay not being helpful. That's right on brand with them.
I was going to say
Yeah.
that's not.
That's
Maybe
Or-
sell on Amazon.
the most help desk answer we can give. This isn't my area. You got to go ask someone else. We're closing the
right.
ticket.
yeah.
Put a ticket in
Yeah,
IT.
I
You'll be
don't-
great.
We don't handle that here.
The worst is if they close the ticket. The semi decent ones will at least pass the ticket on to
Yeah.
the other team.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
have never seen that happen. Never.
I've
well,
never
it's just
had-
because they don't like you. But
I've never sold a comic book on eBay, so I don't really have any experience here. But
Nope.
well, I've sold a few things on eBay, and I've never had this issue. But it sounds like since you're regularly selling, you might have a
I
different
there's a
experience.
slight itch for
than I
me to
do.
go. There's a slight itch for me to go flex my Google Foo on this, but like, it's instantly quashed by the fact
You
that
sh-
I'm tired.
Yeah, I think my suggestion would be to go look into Amazon self-publishing. I hear okay things about that.
I feel like Amazon takes a huge cut though. He's probably using eBay because it doesn't
That's a fair
cut
point.
the
Well-
bottom line as much. Amazon
Yeah,
is
but
eBay-
Amazon is
self-publishing is
notorious.
better than using a publisher for sure.
eBay takes minimum 15%, I think, of anything you sell, and sometimes more.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Amazon's cuts are, but
That's for hardware and stuff too, right? Maybe it's different with.
Yeah, it might be
digital
different
content.
for books. I don't know. But first of all, that's really cool that you make your own comic book. Very neat.
Yeah, send us a page.
Secondly,
Oh, you know what? Make a comic of us and send it in a panel.
I agree.
one-
I wish
just a
I had
one
better information, but that's all we got.
That's all
That's
we got.
eBay inside baseball.
Very
unfortunately.
specific. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super niche. Sorry,
What's
man.
The what best we can do? What's the name of his? What's the name of his comic book?
He doesn't say,
Oh,
but he sells it also at Rubber Mallet Comics in West Pittston, Pennsylvania.
oh, so if you're out in
Is that the comic
Pennsylvania,
book shop
Rubber
or a
Mallet.
comic book shop?
It sounds like it. yes.
Rubber Mallet Comics.
By David Ziegler.
There you go.
Yep, it's a comic shop. Nice. That is neat.
Cool.
West Pittston, Pennsylvania. 1,473 likes on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there
Okay,
you go.
Jaron. Next.
Any more emails?
Yeah, we got another one.
All right.
From John Cochran. He says, "Help desk friends.
Yeah.
I don't mind that Johnny Prime wants to be noted as the first Johnny. He's old, outdated, and full of bugs that never got patched. Further, I'll embrace Johnny 5 since that used to be my old nickname.
Great movie.
It was a mix of
Alright.
my name and my old military call sign." Anyways, real
Great
question.
movie.
I've been wanting to play around with the Raspberry Pi for a while and am overwhelmed by all possibilities. Do you have any favorite Raspberry Pi projects? Bonus points for ones that would be a good starter project. Thanks.
Well, my favorite Raspberry Pi project isn't really as useful as they used to be, but it was the Octoprint for 3D printers. It created a new interface for printers, but most of the printers now ship with a really good interface that you can use anyway. So that's
Yeah.
not as much of a big deal.
I have two suggestions. Both are fairly simple, but are a lot of fun in my opinion. I've done them both. One, you can do Retro Arc, I believe is what it's called, if I remember right. It's the retro game
The retro
OS.
emulator station, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a whole OS you can install on your Pi to
Yeah.
turn it into a retro game station, and it gives a full like UI. You plug a controller in, and it works as if it's like a mini little NES system. Super dope. The other project I really like for a Pi is what's called a Pi hole.
I was going to mention the Pi hole too.
Pi holes
Yep.
are fun. So what a Pi hole does is it becomes your DNS server and blocks out all the ad DNS requests. So every time you go to a web page, all the various ads make DNS requests to resolve, and the Pi hole literally sends those requests to the hole.
Black hole.
And
sucks 'em in.
therefore no ads show up across any of your devices connected to your network. Now, one quick word of advice. There is a way to add a bunch of lists and which ads you want to block. And if you do what I did and I want to do all of them, your internet ceases to work,
Yeah.
basically.
I was about
So don't
to say
do that.
because my Unify OS has the same option, just block all ads. And the problem is you do that, Slick Deals doesn't work anymore
Yep.
because
lots
it
of stuff.
considers every link off Slick Deals an ad.
Right. You got to be
So
with Pi-hole, go on the Reddit, find some good lists. There's people
Yeah.
on there who curate really good Pi-hole lists. Do that. The only other part of that project that's kind of fun is it depends on which router you have. You have to set it to your Pi-hole address to be your DNS server. So that could be a whole part of the project that could be fun to troubleshoot and figure out.
My suggestions are twofold, and this is what I actually use my Raspberry Pi for. I have a Homebridge server on there. What it does is converts non-HomeKit compatible IoT things to HomeKit. There's a better version out there. It's called Home Assistant. That's what I would install if I redid it today, but I'm lazy and Homebridge is working fine, so whatever. Home Assistant is great, so check that out. And I also have an RSS server on my Raspberry Pi, on the same Raspberry Pi. It's called Fresh RSS. And if you're into what Google Reader used to be back in the day, that's what Fresh RSS is, but it's hosted on your own device.
I asked you about that RSS server, like 6 months ago? And you said, yeah, it's a lot of work though.
It is.
And then you
It's
sent me
a
some
lot of work.
instructions, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Like the initial setup's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
No, the initial setup isn't too bad, but like every couple of years, you need to update it and whatever, and you completely forget because how to do it because Linux.
You were
And so
in
you
the
have to
minute,
research
right?
a lot to get it working again.
And then 2 years later you have to re-research. You have the Linux
exactly.
minute.
It's a
that
vicious
If
cycle.
Linux
only there was a
minute.
way you could take notes and write down what you did last year, so that future you could do it again
Documentation?
next year.
Why
No,
would you
dude.
document?
I
It's
do
weird.
that, but then something else random breaks, and then I have to research that, and so then I document that. And it's
By the time you
ongoing.
die, you'll just have all the documentation for a perfect RSS feed.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and I'll pass it on to my children who won't care at all.
Nope.
Like most things that parents leave to their children.
No, just what'll happen
Exactly.
is it'll just keep working, and then one day 2 years will be up, and they'll be like, "It's not working anymore. Did Dad used to do this? Oh, he's dead.
Oh well, guess I won't use it anymore.
Guess I'll just not do it."
Got any suggestions, O-Dog?
I don't know. Did you mention your private? Oh no, that's on Google. That's on the Google instance. You can run a Bitwarden server locally if you wanted on a
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, you can do that for sure.
If you wanted to do that.
I actually
I
did
don't-
that, but then I shifted to Google Cloud because it was
Yeah.
free.
Google Cloud makes it better just because of the security aspects. You have to open up some ports for the Bitwarden one in your own
Yep.
house that can make it kind of a vulnerability.
gross.
Don't
Don't
have
do
to
that.
open up ports
Um,
when it's hosted in the cloud, though.
But I think the one I'm interested in, and I've been interested in for a long time, and I haven't done, is a smart TV or a smart mirror. I'm super interested
Oh,
in
yeah.
making a smart mirror that has one spot where it shows the weather forecast up in your mirror, and you can do that with a Raspberry Pi. But I haven't.
That's if you
taken
want to
the
go
plunge.
way into the DIY rabbit hole,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
you're setting up the Pi, you're setting up the mirror, you're setting up the screen, like all
most
of
of the time, my understanding with it, I mean, from what I've read, and take this with a grain of salt because this was Rowan probably 2 years ago. But it involves taking off a patch of the silver on the
Yeah.
back of the mirror.
It does.
yeah.
and
So
doing
so
some
it
stuff.
creates like
So,
a
yeah,
kind of almost a one-way mirror kind of thing.
yeah.
Yep.
And so, but I always seen them as big, like the ones I saw online were big mirrors, like as you're walking out your front door and stuff, has all the weather, kind of the forecast, maybe you can update it to do whatever you want, traffic, to work, like what you can expect, kind of like what you would do as you're walking out of your door
Yeah.
with your phone in your hand. So
Well, it's definitely one of those things that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, for real,
it's
for real.
super cool. But it is a lot of work, and I am lazy. So there you go. All right, cool. There you go. Take some of those ideas and see if you like those. Any other emails?
No.
All right, cool.
So much excitement from Jaron.
Nah. Now he's
Yeah.
looking. He's looking down at his Switch 2 again. I've seen
Nope. It's in the case.
it. Oh, good, Jaron.
You just showed us the case. How do we know it's in there?
Oh,
See?
there it is. Yep. Good, Jaron.
Can I have a treat?
Let's talk about. Okay, so we're gonna have to hit on WWDC at some point. That was kind of the big news of the week.
Yep.
But we've also got some AI news,
Yep.
and we've got some plastic news.
No.
Yeah.
This is good news.
This is good plastic news.
Ooh, I like good plastic news.
Let's do plastic news, and we'll do some AI news, and then we'll hit Apple.
All right. This is plastic that biodegrades easily. Because you know where plastic usually ends up? The ocean.
Ocean.
Because all streams end up going into the ocean,
Whoa,
etc.
whoa, hold on. Stop. Say it again. What did you say plastic could do now?
I haven't said anything yet. Plastic ends up in the ocean.
Before he
before
said
that, rewind.
biodegrades easily.
Oh, biodegrades easily. Yes. Researchers in Japan have developed a plastic that dissolves in seawater within hours.
I wonder what they mean by dissolves, though. Like dissolves into microplastics, or dissolves into completely.
made of-
I'm
nothing?
glad you asked, Tony.
are they made of hemp? Is this the hemp bottles?
No.
Hemp
no.
doesn't dissolve.
They say their new material breaks down much more quickly and leaves no residual trace.
Wow.
No
Um,
residual trace.
Yep.
Those are some words.
So they
Is it
demonstrated
made
a small.
from dried milk inside your cup? Because that's kind of the same thing I'm envisioning. We're like, have you ever had dried milk in a cup and
Oh yeah.
and you watch it dissolve? Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning.
Probably the same thing.
Probably
The
the same
team
thing, they just
demonstrated a
thickened it.
small piece of plastic vanishing in a container of salt water after it was stirred up for about an hour.
Cool. Let's mass produce this stuff. Use it for everything.
Yeah, they haven't. There's no plans for commercialization yet.
Oh,
But of course, the research has attracted significant interest especially from the packaging sector.
Oh yeah. Think of if you could replace all the plastic bottles with something like this.
Oh, absolutely.
All the soda
Oh,
bottles,
yeah, that'd be amazing.
milk container, everything. That would
Just
be
everything.
slick. Or candy bags, you know? Make your candy bags dissolve in salt water.
But then how would all those shows like Alone and stuff where they comb the beach for trash to survive work?
They'd have
I
to
don't know,
adapt. They'd have to adapt. That's the whole point of the show, man.
I don't know if I want to watch that anymore if they can't find garbage plastic to get water.
Well,
Make plastic
luckily-
great again. Am I right?
Luckily for you, Owen, there's another show Alone. It's called Naked and Alone. You can just move to that one.
Oh, that's
They're
offers
naked
a
on
whole
that
nother,
show, Owen.
Yeah, a whole nother avenue.
That, that's,
I don't
that
have
sounds
to worry
better all
about that.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win-win.
I should apply for that one. I bet I could win.
They would, if I applied, they would pay me to not be on. I
They'd
think.
be like, we've always wanted somebody to be brave enough.
They're like,
to do-
whoa, we can't have people thinking Bigfoot's real. You can't
Yeah.
be on this show.
Okay. Speaking of which, have you guys seen? Maybe not you guys, but Lando, have you seen the Bigfoot vlogs?
Oh, you're just at the
Dude,
tip of
I'm
the
in a-
iceberg of the
I'm in
AI
a-
vlogs.
I am in a rabbit hole of Bigfoot blogs. Just go check
So
that out.
have you seen
on
the
TikTok.
Bible character vlogs?
Uh-uh,
The AI
sa-
Bible character vlogs?
same with
Moses
AI.
here, about to go in the palace. Wish us
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, same with the stormtroopers. That one's for Jared.
Yep, I've seen those ones.
The stormtrooper vlogs. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway,
You're a
that's
little
all.
quiet,
Go
Owen,
ahead.
by the way.
The
Oh,
Mary,
hold on.
the
Pull it
Mary
closer
of
to your
Jesus. Yeah, we're in a stable right now. It's all we could get, but
Yeah,
things are okay.
They're so
0 out of
good.
10 for comfort, but it's warm at least. So
They're so good.
comment and subscribe. It's pretty
Smash that
silly.
like it. Yeah.
All right,
Jesus' first
AI.
guest. Check it out.
Speaking. Did you say they're AI blogs?
They're all AI generated
Well,
like
they're all-
vlogs.
There you
of
go.
Bigfoot
There's the
talking to the
segue.
camera.
And
There's
they're
the segue
fantastic.
right there. So AI, I found 2 stories this week, coincidentally, that talk about how AI is really not as good as people think it is, and not only that, it appears to be getting dumber. So first, we have Apple researchers that just released a paper that basically
Following its researchers. It's the people that created it. Humanity getting dumber. Never mind.
Ha ha ha.
anyway. They did a deep look into a lot of the top AI models, OpenAI's O3, Anthropic's Claude 3.7, and Google's Gemini, and they have found that all of this talk about how their most advanced models can reason is grossly overstated on its ability to do so. Now, take this with a little bit of a grain of salt because Apple has its own AI issues and theirs isn't very good either. So maybe they're trying to pull everyone else down a little bit so they don't look as bad. But I'm going to say that's probably not too much of what's going on here. But basically, they said a lot of these tests that are used to prove their reasoning abilities for these AI large language models and reasoning models are just not good yardsticks. The tests are made to make the models look good. And
I believe it.
yep. And they've made some of their own tests and things. They're calling them controllable puzzle environments. And basically it says here, through extensive experimentation across diverse puzzles, we show that frontier large reasoning models face a complete accuracy collapse beyond certain complexities.
Yeah.
So they get to a spot, and all of a sudden it just kind of implodes on itself because
Yeah,
it
but you
can't.
you know
reason.
why
But
that
it keeps
is,
tr-
right?
But it
I was
keeps
talking
trying, and that's when it starts hallucinating.
That's when it starts hallucinating.
Like
exactly.
that's the dangerous part. If
Were
you
we
could just
talking
stop it there and be like, I can't figure this out. Sorry,
I'm
but
just
no,
gonna
it's
make
like,
stuff up now.
I still want to be helpful. So
No, it was so. I was talking to my coworkers the other day. It's like, yeah, I tried to use ChatGPT to solve a Sudoku puzzle, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you know why that is, right? Because it's really not reasoning, right?
No.
AI is not thinking
it's
like a
guessing.
person.
No, it's predictive.
It's predicting, right?
Predictive,
So it's really good at
exactly.
predicting words and text and videos, but it really sucks at solving things and using
Actual-
logic and actual thinking.
science. Yeah, math.
It's
Don't
not
ask for
doing
math
that.
answers.
It just blows my mind how statistics can produce this in general, though,
Yeah.
like probabilities and.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to remember it's being trained on so much data. Like, you think of like all the books you've read. Now times that by 1,000,000, and that's the kind of data and the kind of text it's being trained on.
I'm
So
I'm moving
when
into
you-
my next AI phase, which is making my own custom GPTs. And I just
Nice.
give it books like how to unscrew your life. Sorry, I almost said the F word.
On F your life.
How to un-F your life, and you give it a whole bunch of books like that, and then you basically tell it stuff, and it will just basically pull from those as the training.
So did you
Yep.
ethically source those books you're feeding it?
I haven't done it yet. It's just a
Oh,
how-to
okay.
I'm following.
This is
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This is
This
hypothetical,
is
Tony.
probably for tomorrow right around 11 a.m. my
I
time, which is when
see.
my Rowan
they-
comes online.
And they also linked to another article they had recently. This is futurism.com that shows pretty conclusive stuff from other sources that show that the smarter AI gets, the more it hallucinates. So the more we keep advancing it, the worse it gets.
Right.
At
All it
telling
does is
us
get more clever, right? It doesn't learn to get smarter.
Yeah.
It just gets more clever at giving you what it thinks you want to
what
hear.
it thinks you want. Yeah, what it thinks
Yeah.
it should predict. Okay, so next on the AI list. So ChatGPT, where did this go? What's this guy's name? Okay, Robert Jr. Caruso
What a
from
name.
yeah, right. Citrix architecture and delivery specialist Robert Jr. Caruso was experimenting with ChatGPT and chess. And so he pitted ChatGPT against the Atari 2600 chess game. And consistently, every time ChatGPT failed against an Atari 2600 chess game, it could not beat an emulated 1.67 megahertz processor
Yeah,
versus
but that makes so much sense because that's not what
mega-
it's trained to do.
versus what do you mean? AI can do everything.
Yeah, no, AI can't do chess games because that would require the AI
That's
to
not
think
what
ahead.
the marketing says, though.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem. So first of all, AI can do chess. That's what IBM's Deep Blue supercomputer was all about in 1997.
Sure, but it's like specifically designed AI, and it's different. Keep going, Tony. I understand what you're saying, but you're it's a different kind of AI. Make sense? It's a
But you're
not
telling
trained in
me
the same
you're
way.
telling me that this catch-all program, the future of artificial intelligence can't beat a program from 1979
Yep,
that
exactly what I'm telling
thinks
you, Tony.
that thinks at 1.19 megahertz.
I'm not surprised at all. Even a
all about-
well-written program that's
it's all
designed to do
about-
one thing well, it's going to beat ChatGPT's reasoning models because it's not thinking. Like you can't think of it like a human. It's predicting. It's not.
He put
good
it
at
on the
logic.
he
it's
put it
not
on
good
the
puzzles.
easiest he put it on the easiest setting too.
Not surprising. There's a guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name. It's a chess channel. I was in chess YouTube there for a couple months. But he had a bunch of content where he would pit the different AIs against each other. So he's like, okay, so today we're gonna do ChatGPT versus Grok or whatever. And the thing, some of the chess moves that they would do are just stupid, right? They'd make pieces appear out of thin air, move pieces across the board in ways they're not supposed to move, just do all kinds of random stuff because that's what the AI is like. Yeah, this is the next best move. Just pop a king here. So now there's two kings. Just silliness, right? Because
So
they're not
you're-
designed to do that.
So you're telling me in all
Exactly
of
what
the
I'm telling you, Tony.
You're telling me in all the information ingestion, there was not one single chess book thrown into that algorithm,
So
thrown
there
into
are
that
chess
data.
books, but chess books don't teach you you still
You
have to have a
can't
human.
That is the
think.
whole point of chess books, is to teach you how to play chess.
Sure, they
I'm
teach you how to play
sure-
chess. They don't predict.
I'm sure
for you how to
AI
play
could tell you
chess.
strategies
It's
on
actually-
how to play tennis.
That's a different
chess.
thing than playing chess
Yeah.
itself.
Well,
Yeah.
what's interesting is so the new reasoning models that they're talking about with ChatGPT Mini, 4.0 Mini, where they actually spend time reasoning and you can see the thought. That's much different than this new predictive model. I watched a YouTube video about how it predicts it, and it basically assigns a number to every word in the text, and then just it's a predictive algorithm that is wild to watch. Which is
that's scary.
remember when it couldn't do strawberry
Yeah.
because it would
I'm
say
sorry. Strawberry has 3 R's.
Yeah.
My apologies.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
4 R's.
it couldn't predict that because it was breaking up that word into parts and assigning it different numbers because it has to always switch that down to numbers and binary and whatever. But anyway, it's pretty crazy. I'd have to find it. It was probably over a year ago I saw that. But the way that the predictive models work, yeah, you would never be able to reason any type of calculation where you have to do an if then, type of scenario. But it'll keep trying. It will keep trying it. That's why it's so funny to watch two AIs
Actually, it
interact with
won't.
each other, because they will keep trying as long as you give it input. As long as you give ChatGPT input, it will continue to try.
Not in this case. It
Really?
conceded.
It conceded. Well,
Yep.
yeah,
It gave
yeah.
up.
Oh well,
It gave up against the beginner opponent
It's
from,
learning.
from the Atari 2600.
yeah.
Progress.
Gave up, just like real
The
humans.
other large models are actually pretty cool. The ones where they're just like letting an AI learn to play Minecraft with nothing. If you watch those ones, it's really crazy. They give it a goal, and they say you need to build a house, and they put an AI into a Minecraft server with no understanding of Minecraft, and it just has to learn everything. And you just watch it fall and die. So it's learning about cliffs and height.
That's a different training model than like
Exactly.
large language model AI.
Right. This is
a different
this isn't
model
the
AI.
predictive. But they
It's
could
trained
probably reason
differently.
out. They could probably reason out something over time. But
Yeah, they've done something similar with like Mario Brothers on the
yeah,
Super Nintendo.
mhm. Those ones are cool to watch.
Mario. Oh, no. Games are next episode.
Next episode, Tony. Are we done
Next
yet? We do
episode.
games?
Yep. I'm done. That's AI. Don't believe it. It's not as smart as everyone says it is.
Or is it?
And check its work. That's
What if it's like Jack
that's
Sparrow?
AI in a nutshell right there. Now, let's talk about WWDC, the most excitingly boring software
Oh,
development
yeah.
conference ever.
I took one for the team and watched the whole thing, and I didn't think that would be a sacrifice because I normally really enjoy these things, but I
that
had
like
to
2+
keep myself.
hours?
It was an hour and a half. I had to keep myself from falling asleep like 3 or 4 times, and I
Liquid
had the power to
glass.
skip things, and I did liberally, especially like the opening scene and closing scenes. Like, who cares about
Yeah.
that? Anyway, WWDC, in a nutshell, summarized. It feels like they put all their effort into iPad, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yep. I agree with
that.
Spotlight for Mac OS was really interesting. Everything else, snooze fest, in my opinion.
The liquid glass or whatever they're calling it, it's kind of interesting.
You mean Windows?
They-
you mean Windows Vista?
They put a lot of focus on the UI
joke.
changes. It's a UI overhaul, the first significant one they've done since iOS 7, which famously got rid of the skeuomorphism from the previous iOSs. And they're kind of bringing skeuomorphism back, but in a more tasteful way, because everything is glass now, which it looks okay.
Liquid glass.
Also,
liquid glass.
Also because time is a flat circle.
Yes,
Time is a
Tony.
flat circle. Are you a flat earther, Tony?
Whoa.
No, I'm a flat timer.
I'm just
I actually
an
saw
old
an
timer.
interesting hot take on Instagram tonight. The hot take was the reason why Apple is so into this liquid glass stuff is because they're secretly training us and getting us ready for AR glasses. 'Cause this
Oh,
is how
they
they
just
want
want to
AR
get
glasses to
they
work.
want to get the they want to get the words out there into the zeitgeist.
Well, also if you're using the glasses, you're going to be able to see through the icons and through the stuff.
Well, and not only
so
that,
they
but a
want you
lot
to
of the
be
glass,
used to seeing through stuff.
the glass elements all came from Vision OS.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Well, there you go.
I know it's an interesting hot take.
Personally,
All I'm
I think
saying.
it's a boring UI update. I like UI updates where it changes the way you work with things in the better
Mhm.
for
Like-
the better.
like the iPad.
Yeah, that is a fantastic UI update. But this is just a repainting of what's already there.
Yep.
I like it better because it puts more. The interface gets more out of the way compared to what they've done in the past. Like instead of having like a solid color of all the controls at the bottom. They just have like little circles for each tab or something like that, and you could see the web page behind it in a fuller view, which is great. But it's other than that, like I have concerns about readability. Like what they showed in the presentation,
Agreed.
you could not read some things because there wasn't enough contrast. To be fair, though, they had the same problem with iOS 7 when it first came out, and they, adjusted things quite a bit to make that easier. So I'm sure we'll see some of that change over the betas. If they don't, I think they'll have a problem. So that was like the UI stuff. That was the main thing, and that's rolling out to watchOS, iOS, tvOS. Though for tvOS, like all they pretty much did was change the icons, and there's slightly more glinty on the edges. Other than that, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Go talk about iPad, Jared. I have questions.
So I'll get there. Messages changed a bit. You can now assign backgrounds and do polls, like user polls, stuff like that.
Perfect. Love it.
My favorite iPhone feature was the spam filtering. It's not really spam filtering. So what it is, if it's an unknown number, it will play a message to the person calling, asking that person to describe why they're calling you, and then you'll see a text on your phone, like pick like whatever the person says, like voice to text transcription. So
if that works well, the telemarketers are screwed.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. Yeah,
Screw
That's
'em.
hilarious.
like I turn on block unknown callers anyway, and so
But some people aren't able to do that, Jared. So
true.
for people like me
So,
who can't do that, it'd be nice. to
Useful
have that there.
feature indeed, and I very much appreciate it. And the second one is my mind just went blank. Holy crap! Oh yeah, it will if you're on hold, it will just pretty much terminate the call on your end, but it'll stay on hold for you and then alert you when you're actually talking to a human. So that's cool. Android's done both of these features for a while
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say I get bugged. I tell it no all the time. It's like, would you like me to just stay on hold for you, manage this call?
Does it work good though?
I've never tried it. Every call that I'm willing to hold on is important, and I can't be like every time I'm on a call that I've been on hold for like 15, 20 minutes. It's like health insurance for my son or something. I'm like, I'm not
You
just
don't
ordering
wanna
a pizza
risk
here,
it.
right? Like I'm not just like I can't let you be like, never mind, cancel my policy or something. I don't know what it's doing on my behalf. And the smart screening, it will I've been tempted to have it screen my call because it can. It's like, would you like us to screen this? And I'm like,
So will Google like talk to the person after once they pick up?
I think it has a prompt or something, and then they basically have to state what they want, and then it passes that to you first, and then you get to decide if you want to connect the call or not.
Not for the call screening, but for being on
For
hold.
the holding.
I haven't ever done it. I've never done it because I'm too terrified that I've already been on hold for 20 minutes.
I'm gonna try it out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will. They have live translation for like FaceTime and stuff like that, which is cool if you're trying to talk to someone that doesn't speak your language. There's a new games app, which is basically a games launcher with like achievements and stuff like that. Cool, probably if you like phone gaming. I don't.
Like
so I'm
me.
not terribly interested in that. And then they kind of mentioned Apple Intelligence here and there, scattered throughout. Like there's light touches on just random stuff throughout the phone. So like there's visual intelligence now. You can take a screenshot and have it look up. Google's had this forever. And you can combine 2 Genmojis into one now.
Nice.
How long did they spend talking about that?
I don't think it was very long.
What is the hype
Okay.
about this? If everything you're like, Google's been doing this forever, I guess.
They don't
Well-
have Genmojis.
I mean,
You kidding
I
me?
guess we've
And
been
Android
complaining.
cribs from iOS cribs for Android. It's been like this since the beginning.
And I guess we've been complaining about the green bubble or whatever forever too. So
Yeah.
like,
I hope they would have announced RCS encryption for texts.
That
but
would
they,
have been nice.
Yeah, they didn't. So that's the iOS stuff. Again, not very groundbreaking in my opinion, except for the phone stuff. I did enjoy that. However, the the iPad stuff, that was super interesting. Over the years, Apple nailed it. They've tried to
First try.
they've tried to make iOS or iPad OS more multitasking friendly, and every single time it's just been confusing.
Well, yeah, and my dream for iPad has always been I want my iPad to replace my laptop. Like I want to live in the world where my iPad can be my laptop, and it's just never quite been there.
Yeah,
and it's never seemed like they're going to get there either.
The last iteration was pretty close, not quite there. They had multitasking windows, but you can only have four open at a time, and it only aligned to specific parts on the screen. You couldn't drag them to wherever you wanted. And above all, the Files app kind of sucked. Like you could not associate default apps with certain file types. It was super inconvenient. This year they fixed all of that, and the windowing actually looks great. You can, according to them, you can have like 5 or 6, 7, 8 windows open at a time.
You can resize them, drag them wherever you want, just
even
like a desktop.
off to the side of the screen. And just it felt so much more intuitive than what they've done in the past. You can still treat the iPad like a full screen experience, just like it was from the beginning if you want to. The other cool thing, like I alluded to, the Files app, they've upgraded that considerably. It feels more like Finder now. And
so good.
Yeah, so it feels like I could actually use it for real work, assuming the Excel app is somewhat decent, which it still isn't on iPad.
No, it is not.
No, it is not.
So here's my question, Jaron. Here's my workflow for work. I have my laptop. I put it in my backpack. I go to work. I sit down. I have one USB-C cable. It's awesome. I plug it in my laptop. My keyboard lights up. My monitor lights up, and I just go start working. It's awesome. Because I have that big 4K 40-inch screen. Does the iPad support external monitors and external keyboards in that kind of experience?
Yes, it does.
That's amazing. So I could start doing
through a docking station, right?
I would see what reviewers say first, but
Yeah.
according to Apple, they say external monitors will work like you expect. And
The other thing is you have to remember
good.
how many other little programs and whatnot have you installed on your laptop to just make the UI better or
Tony,
change
you're right.
it, and you
You're right,
can't
Tony.
do any of that with iPad OS, even with this new version. So
Yeah, but at the
it's
same
still
time,
it's
like,
still a walled garden.
so close. It's so
close.
close.
It's a lot better than it used to be. It looks like after this
It's
update.
close enough. I might be willing to try it.
Huh? There you
it feels
go.
like I could do light work on it while on vacation and be okay.
And you know
Whereas before, I most definitely could not do that.
You know what this makes me want to do now? I'm not going to, but it makes me, well, maybe, I don't know. The next iPad I get, it makes me want to get a bigger one, like memory-wise.
16
like
gigs of RAM.
16 gigs of
Yeah.
RAM, yeah, for the multitasking and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
They also, so for iPad OS, you can also choose your audio input, i.e.
Which is-
microphones.
Which is new.
A huge deal.
Yep.
Yeah, so it seems like it could actually be a podcasting tool, and they claim that they could get studio or broadcast quality audio from AirPods.
That's just a whole
Wow.
bunch. That's just a whole bunch of AI
I don't believe
stuff.
it,
Yeah.
but I'm curious what it'll sound like.
I'll bet it sounds good, but I guarantee it's not. It's not going to sound as good as even our setup right here.
No, I agree,
You know,
but I'm curious
I'm very
what it
curious.
will
Yeah.
be like.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Apple's opening up its AI models to developers, so developers can access the local AI model in your phone. I think it's a smart move because they're putting it on developers to do cool things rather than Apple itself. A big question mark has been like, when is their AI assisted code development? When will it finally come out? It sounds like they're finally releasing that. So that's good. Vision Pro is going to get PSVR 2 controller support. That's been hinted at previously. And the other cool feature is Spotlight in macOS Tahoe. Spotlight is getting a big upgrade.
Taco.
Sounds like they're stealing some features from Raycast, which is a popular searching app.
I
on
use
macOS.
Raycast every single day, all day long. I freaking love Raycast.
Yeah, so they're doing some cool stuff with Spotlight. Very happy to see that because Spotlight it's not great right now. I never use it just because it never finds what I want it to.
Raycast, my dude.
I know. Yeah.
It's free.
So,
it's easy.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Those were the big features, in my opinion. Again, most of it was pretty boring until Spotlight and iPad was talked about. That was some good stuff.
Well, let's keep the Apple stories going, and let's talk about bad news from Apple. For Apple, I should say.
Yeah. So they, this is in regards to web links for payments in apps from the App Store. We reported a couple weeks ago that they lost that case, and they immediately tried to appeal. But the appeals court has denied Apple's emergency request to block the order. The court said it was not persuaded that blocking the order was appropriate after weighing Apple's chances to succeed on appeal. So the appeals court does not think Apple will win. So they blocked the emergency request to block the order. So for now, the web links stay, and it's looking like they're not going to win, which is great news for consumers. So that's awesome.
Cool. All right.
Neat. That is good. Sorry. I always vote against the Apple overlords.
Well, that's because a lot of the time it's anti-consumer.
Yeah.
So we try to be pro-consumer here.
So has Google allowed web links to external payments?
That's a
no
good
idea.
question. Like out through the App Store?
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
for apps.
Android OS.
On your Android, on your Kindle app on your phone, like, does it allow you to buy books?
Oh, I don't have the Kindle app.
Oh yeah, right. Wink, wink.
I have a free one called Ice Cream e-reader.
That doesn't help us.
No.
Nope. Thanks for that info.
Okay.
Owen.
There's a fact you have of me now. I felt like
do
I
with
was
it.
being. For a minute, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check since I'm the only Android user here," and then my brain's like, "I don't think I'm gonna do
Just
what they want
download-
I'm gonna do."
Just download Kindle and check.
Frick. Okay, you guys figure that out. While
Yeah,
I
we'll
figure out how to
keep
download
going.
Kindle.
We'll keep going. Let's talk about data speeds. They're going crazy.
Oh my gosh, we're almost out of time. I thought we were going to skip this one for this week. But that's okay. This is great.
It's a lightning round.
Japanese researchers have set a new world record, Tony. A new world record for internet speed.
I like it.
Transmitting 1.02
Gigawatts.
petabytes.
Oh,
That's 1.02 million gigabytes, for reference, of data per second
holy crap!
Whoa.
How?
over a distance of 1,808 kilometers.
Almost
Whoa.
1,200
For-
miles.
For freedom units, that's 1,118 miles.
Is it line of sight?
So I'm gonna
No,
say
it's
this one
fiber
more
It's
time.
fiber optic.
1.02 petabits of data per second
Oh, so it's
over
not wirelessly. It's
1,100
yeah.
miles. They achieved this using a specially designed 19-core fiber optic cable, which acts like a 19-lane superhighway for data.
I wonder how thick that optical cable is with 19 of them.
It's pretty thin. It's pretty thin. So hopefully this will help us break through for much faster data speeds in the future. So basically, it's just 19 single-core fiber essentially in one cable to create 19 times faster speeds with magic.
This is the kind of
somehow.
stuff that you'd see put in like ISP backbones, stuff like that.
Right, but still, I mean,
And then the higher speed would trickle down to the consumers, so you could get higher speeds at your house now that they can support higher speeds on the backbone. So
that's exactly what it's saying. It's all for the backbone. So
Very
high speed, capacitive data highways need to support emerging technologies. Blah blah blah. Anyway, new world record, and not only that, but it's not just like 2 inches of data speed. We're talking thousands of miles.
I need that. I probably need
Petabits
that
of data
1.2
per
petabits
second.
for reasons.
Per second. Can you like imagine that?
that's.
like
I remember the first
so much data.
the first time we hit a petabyte of storage in the data center, one of our old data centers where I work, and it was like 2 huge
1,000?
boxes.
How
1,000.
many is a petabyte? Is it
1,000 terabytes.
yeah.
And it was like 2 huge boxes just full of hard drives. And we were like, oh, yeah, that's a petabyte, baby. And this will move that in a second.
One
that's
second.
that's nuts.
Shift
It's
that from one
insane.
data center to another.
Yeah, can you
You
imagine
mean-
Like, how many-
data
I mean,
migrations
that's the
with that?
transfer. That's the transfer speed. I don't know if there's devices that can take advantage of that. I mean, I guess if that's your throughput, you could.
Well,
but there's
so
not-
I guarantee
like you couldn't migrate a server
no.
from one data center to another because the
That's-
hard drives couldn't read that fast, read and
No.
write that fast.
Your 1.01 of petabyte per second of speed is like gateway to gateway.
yeah, right.
You know, and it would be really hard to.
So you can send a lot of stuff if you did multi stuff
Exactly.
across,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
through
yeah.
the pipe. The
Yep.
throughput's probably ridiculous. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
Read write
Yeah.
speeds is always
Yeah,
constrained.
node to node,
by
you'd
the
be getting
end.
crazy speeds, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're still constrained on the other sides beyond those. All right, did you download Kindle?
Yeah, I got Kindle right here. What am I
So,
looking for? Because I'm in
just-
the
just
thing.
sign in.
Discover new books. I'm in.
Okay, can you buy a book straight through the app?
Yeah. So let's say I wanted Wind and Truth. Buy now with one click, but it linked to my Amazon. So
Try buying it.
I don't want to buy it. It's $21.
For science.
I don't think I'm gonna do that since I already own that book.
So what
Tony will
happens?
reimburse you. Let's go.
So I will not. So what happens with
will
with
not.
Apple? It just doesn't allow you to buy in the Kindle app,
It takes you to the webpage.
or at least it didn't used to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wonder if
So,
I hit that if it'll.
If you hit that, will it take you to a
Not
web
the
page,
Kindle.
or does it do it in the app?
Shoot, fine, I'll do it. Gosh dang it! If this charges me, some.
Find a
refund
cheaper
it.
book.
You can refund it.
Oh yeah, buy now with one click.
Is there add to cart?
Oh, if it says buy now with one click, that's not going to kick you to a web page because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Just
would.
bought it.
That's really funny.
Okay, you can refund it. I'm sure.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, there you go. Buy it with one click in Android, so you can do it there.
Yeah, and it doesn't link you out, so that's even better.
Yeah. All right. My lightning round. Oh, Owen, lightning round. What are we doing with all our blank discs?
Hey, this is actually a pretty good lightning round. There's a guy out there that actually pulled some code from a long time ago, so he didn't come up with this, but he's reinventing it or what do you want to do? Reintroducing it. There you go. This there's an app you can get that burns images. What do you do? Do you guys still have tons of blank CDs and DVDs?
I might have a spindle
think
lying around
I have a
somewhere.
spindle at my office.
Like Black Friday used to come around and it'd be like, I look forward to getting like a spindle of 100 DVDs or discs
Yeah,
for
dirt
like
cheap.
for like $8, right?
Yeah.
And so you overbuy them because you're like, so I have like 2 spindles probably of just discs that
You know, I feel
they're
like
good
you're,
for.
I
let me
feel like
tell you,
you're underselling how many spindles you actually have. How many
I
do you
am-
actually have?
I
Owen?
don't want to say that, Tony, because some of them are just full spindles of written discs that I haven't touched in 10 years.
You don't even know what they are
Yeah.
anymore.
And,
You wanna know- I have some fun ideas for you, Owen. Couple things. One, frisbees are lots of fun.
they
Two,
shatter.
have you ever stuck a CD in a microwave before?
Yeah, also destroys the
times.
microwave. So
No,
does?
1 or 2 seconds is fine.
Why? Why does it destroy the microwave?
because of the radiation bounce back, I don't want to see, and the burnt. It starts on fire and makes it smoky. So all your
It's fun.
food,
It's fun.
all your food smells like burnt plastic after that.
Your food smells like data. Delicious
Yeah.
data.
Delicious data.
But this, this guy, he has made an app that burns images onto the disc now, and it's so you can turn it into artwork now.
that's a fun idea
and-
too, Owen.
Yeah.
These
So-
are pretty cool.
They
These
also make for
pictures.
good mousetrap car wheels.
Oh, that's a good idea. I am underselling it vastly, Tony.
I knew it.
by
I knew it.
probably 3 times what I said. What I say
Let's
2?
get the number.
I
in the
think I
in
probably
between,
have
Owen.
6 or okay. I can get the count. I can get the count for sure. Anyway, my wife hates them, but I hoard them because here's the thing: have you
You
ever
never
had to
know when you'll
rebuild
need
a? Here, yeah, exactly. Have you ever had to rebuild a server or something old that only has a disk drive, or
Not for a long time.
if the USB drives are broken, and you're like, "What do I do now?" Oh, I boot from a CD. I have a
What
CD
computer
drive.
has what computer has a CD-ROM drive nowadays though?
When you get one from like your aunt or your grandma or something.
Why
Yeah,
would
it
you
goes-
accept that? though?
Why?
Right in the
Because
trash.
they need me to fix it.
Right in the
My
oh.
pictures are on here. My
Fire a
whole
Mac.
No, because it's not about that. It's about data recovery.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I got to get into like recovery mode.
Take
and
the hard drive out and put it in a
all
different
my
computer.
genealogy pictures were on there. What?
Take the hard drive out and just get to it that way.
Shut up. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I have those now.
It's the first time Lando's had a good idea. Respect it.
Whoa!
Oh,
That's right. Let's go.
That is
Let's
that is
end
an
there.
option. Yep.
George Costanza, walk out. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thanks for listening. See ya. High note.
Nope. I got one.
One lightning round.
One lightning round. It's this new plane. It's huge. So the first time I saw pictures of this plane, I thought it was a poorly rendered AI joke.
Yeah.
Because the thing about this plane, it's called the Windrunner by Radia Corporation.
Okay. Sounds like
a Brandon
ripoff.
Sanderson book.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a ripoff.
It is debuting at the Paris Air Show on the 16th of this month, so a week from now. And this is the new largest aircraft in the world, 356 feet from nose to tail.
Jeez, that's massive.
The next largest aircraft is 276.
Cargo bay capacity of 7,700 cubic meters.
7,700 cubic meters, which beats the Airbus Beluga XL, which was the biggest cargo capacity, I believe, up till this point, which was 2,209. So it's triple.
5,500. Yeah.
It's triple. This thing, the thing that made me think it's a poorly rendered AI picture of a plane is because the body is so much longer and bigger than what you would think the wings would be able to keep in the air, that it's crazy.
Do you know the
It
original
looks
reason?
Messed up.
The
Should have
original
called it the Spruce Moose.
So the original reason
Missed
for this
opportunity.
for this plane was because MIT and Boeing wanted to transport ththose 344-foot wind turbine blades.
Yep, giant
by
giant
aircraft.
turbine.
Because
Giant,
right now they all have to travel by truck, even
Yep.
not even trains. Well, trains can if you lay a bunch of cars out, but
So that was the first purpose that it was designed for, and now that it's actually feasible, and they're going to roll it out, a bunch of other industries have been like, well, we can definitely think of a few uses for that.
man,
4 engines, operates at an altitude of 41,000 feet with a maximum range of 1,240 miles. So that in and of itself isn't that, astounding or different than what most big planes can do. But yeah, so remember how long I said it was nose to tail? 356 feet. The wingspan, this is where it gets weird. The wingspan is 261 feet.
so only
It's like 100 feet narrower than it is long.
right.
It's weird looking.
It looks weird.
yeah.
But
I gotta
yeah,
wonder about those engines. How much horsepower? Like how much
Oh,
lift
they're
or how much thrust they can
I'm
put
sure
out?
they're putting out boatloads. That was one spec that the article didn't have for
Yeah,
whatever
when you
reason.
look at the plane in the air, the wings look super weird. Like
And-
that render, I guess, is what it is. But
and you look at the little cockpit bump on
Yeah.
top, and you're like,
Yeah.
what in the world? Because the whole front nose cone shifts opens up so they can slide that giant.
That's pretty
windmill.
awesome.
It is a feat of engineering. There is no doubt about that.
Boeing
And,
didn't make it, right?
No. Radia.
Okay,
It's
well,
the
it's,
company
they
that
can probably
made it.
fly then.
But yeah, I just saw that and I thought this is wild. Oh, and it's supposed to be able to take off and land from like not
standard-
great airfields. So
that's what those almost track tires
So
look
does
like
this
on the
thing
back.
actually exist, Tony?
yeah, they're showing it off next week at the Paris Air Show.
Showing it off like they showed off those electric semi trucks, like no engine. They roll it onto the stage, or show it off like it flies in and lands. Because
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Is the company called Nikola?
Yeah.
Though
Show
it'll
you
probably
on.
show off a little bit better than those contacts you like, but
Nope.
we'll see about
Sure
that.
won't. Those are going to be life changing. This is just a silly airplane.
So Unless this is wrong, I'll talk about it again next week after the air show with the results of them showing it off. But I did see a couple other articles from other places saying it was supposed to show up at the Paris Air Show. So
That'll be
anyway,
cool.
there you go. I just thought that was pretty dang cool. All right, that is the end of today's episode. Except for the big time thanks to the Patreon backers. Patreon.com/Geekshow. Nope. Patreon.com/HelpDeskArcade. There we go.
Help Desk Arcade.
Got it. First try.
Go throw some $1 dues. If you do, you get some special perks. For $1, access to the super secret Discord. Both shows early with a bonus show in between them. Aptly called the In Between, founded by me. Some weeks are great, some weeks suck. You never know what you're going to get, and it's bonus, and it's just for $1. So if you don't like it, it's only $1.
That's the most truthful thing you've said about this. Wow.
I've always said that. Anyway, so there's some perks there for just $1. Again, the Super Secret Discord is a great place to be. We talk about all kinds of stuff in there. Really, really like it. For $6 or more, you get a special shout out on the air. Like if you want us to say your name, we're going to say it to you because we really, really want to say thank you. Now, the bonus feature that I like to talk about a lot is it's a way to get Jaren's mouth to move and say whatever you want to say. If you want to advertise your business, go for it. If you want to make him say, hey, Jaren's a dum-dum, go for it. He'll say that too. It's all in good fun. We'll have a great time with it. And we love everyone who does it. So, Jaren, say the words the people want you to say right now.
First of all, I just want to call out whoever did Mike Hawks small.best last week. It's real funny. I appreciate it. And that is all. All right.
Well
It is
played.
funny.
Big shout out and thank you to David Broshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and We've Tried Nothing and We're All Out of Ideas. I think he's
Oh, what is
described
that?
our show.
What is that from?
It's a quote for something.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Simpsons.
Is it Simpsons?
Yeah.
Sounds like Simpsons.
Where did that go? Oh, and thanks to Fourth Dimension Craft on Instagram for all your laser engraving needs. Thank you. Dyson Blows, Padres Suck.
I don't know who that listener is, but they suck.
Womp womp.
Jason Eatman, La 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 Lava, Chicken.
Oh my gosh.
La
don't-
la la lava.
No.
Chicken.
You guys don't understand. That's
Oh,
gonna be my
is
head.
that the Minecraft song?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
freaking love
Yeah,
that
okay.
song.
All right. A shrine, a stinky one-eyed Willy shrine. Slap, slap. Thank you.
Slap, slap.
Blech.
Be the 8-year-old. I'm just here for Owen's stories. Aren't we all? I'm here for content, not a nice, tight pod. 10 tiny techies tweak tangled transistor towers tirelessly. Tony Trips tossing at 10 terabytes of tacos at the terminal. Thank you.
Oh, taco.
That was awesome.
Kyle, GameStop, you better count your days for cracking my Switch 2 screen with your staple.
Oh,
No.
okay. I'm curious if they are actually someone that had that happen because that was a thing. That
Yeah,
was a thing.
That
That
actually
was a
happened
thing.
to people.
Yeah.
Geriga arimasu. Thank you. Tony the Excel and Power Apps nerd. Pieman Graphics, purveyor of fine geeky stickers. Chris Gengar 94. Keslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz in between rating 325.
Going
Not
down.
sure. DP, only champs go slap slap.
Whoa, Owen.
You're a champ, Owen.
You're the champ now.
I'm a champ
You're the
now.
champ. I agree. Wesley, 8 gig GPUs are like decaffeinated Mountain Dew. Sure, it tastes okay, but what's the point?
All right.
Actually, I like decaffeinated Mountain Dew. Stuart Lloyd, anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should, on no account, be allowed to do the job. And finally, yes, Owen, we do care. And
Hey,
then Jaren's
thanks.
B-plug.
I mean, it's in your lower third right there anyway. So,
Yes, it is.
and I mean that, and you could take it in whatever meaning you want. Whatever.
I mean, if you want to hear more about that, I'm happy to talk.
come to the
In between. Save for the in between.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. Thanks for making it to the end of this episode, dear listener, for downloading us and listening along as our nonsense goes on and on. You know who else goes on and on is Lando with his outros.
Yeah, I just realized I had not thought of one until this very moment, so you're getting this. Be an end user.
Oh, that was it?
That was it!
All right.
They can all be winners, Tony.